Hello everyone. So we're checking back in again today, and I'm shooting this video. I got a 2009 Dodge Journey in, here for an oil change, and I was told that the HVAC is not working. So at first I wasn't going to shoot a video, but once I found out what the issue is, I figured I would shoot it because this touches on one of my favorite issues: grounds. Grounds are very, very important to your car. In my limited experience of 20 years of working on cars, I figured out that most of the time when you have an electrical issue, it's either due to one or two things: a bad previous repair and a missing or broken or inadequate ground. So I went to check, I scanned it. There was a bunch of modules not communicating with the HVAC controller. So then I bring up my wiring diagram. When I look at my wiring diagram, I look for power and ground, because I know this is the only thing that isn't working module per se. So I don't think we have a huge issue. I think we have something that is centralized to the HVAC controller itself. So I bring up my diagram. I say I get power on fuse M11. That fuse is good. So now I like starting at the end and working my way back. So that means that I pull my HVAC controller out on this vehicle, which is really, really simple. It's just this little panel right here. And then there's two connectors in it. There's this connector, which is our HVAC controller, and this one, which is for like our hazards and things like that. So I took this one out of the main body of the connector so I could check for power and ground. So now let's try to do this here. I'll get it. I'm gonna pause and I'll get it set up. So I have my two connectors in to where the power and the ground, and I have my test light right here. It is not lit up. So I checked previously. It's kind of hard for me to do while I'm holding the phone, but I know I had a good power. So this one, this green one, is on my ground. And if I just stick this to ground, let's see what happens. Boy, my test light lights up really, really big. And when I take the ground away, it goes away. So I have power, and now I'm not completing the circuit. So now when I also test it on the ground, when I ground the ground, I would get a little bit of back voltage. So that lets me know that there's a few other things on this circuit that are trying to find ground too. And one of them is our vanity lights. You see, our vanity lights aren't working. So I know that we have an issue with our ground. So I pull our schematic up. I go, it says it's in the driver's side corner. And let's look down here and see if we can find it. You see that? You see that right there? It's just hanging there. It's supposed to go on that stud right there next to the other ground, but it is not. It is just hanging loose, willy-nilly. So let us just touch this thing to ground and see what happens here. Let's just touch this thing to ground and see, do we get anything? Let's turn our key off. Let me pause it so I can put this back on. Okay, so we got our connector back together, our HVAC controller plugged back in. Let's stick our key back in and let's see what happens here. And now our HVAC controller is working because we just completed that ground circuit. So once again, like I want to state, grounds are highly important. Grounds are very, very important. I would say probably 95% of the fixes I fix on electrical problems are two issues: bad previous repairs and a missing ground. And I think this ground not being attached is from a bad previous repair. So we're going to attach that ground correctly where it goes and get this vehicle down the road. Remember, always check your powers and grounds first and get you a good accurate copy of the wiring schematic for your exact vehicle, and you too can diagnose any electric concern as well. So let's see our vanity lights working as well. And we have vanity lights now. Everything is working. So we are good to go.